Imagine a world where a once majestic ship is now a decaying relic, slowly being devoured by the ocean's depths. This is the haunting reality of the Titanic. The Titanic, resting miles below the surface, is showing clear signs of decay. What will its final fate be? For over 112 years, the Titanic has endured the crushing darkness of the deep ocean, a silent witness to its own tragic end. On that fateful night in April 1912, the Titanic broke apart, sending debris cascading nearly 12,500 feet to the ocean floor. The ship took more than 1,500 passengers and crew with it, leaving behind a legacy of sorrow and mystery. Apart from occasional visits from deep-sea submersibles, the wreckage has remained undisturbed, undergoing a slow, steady process of decay. The extreme environment of the ocean depths is breaking apart what remains of the world's most famous ship. The pressure of the ocean, water currents, and iron-eating bacteria are causing the Titanic's structure to collapse. As the ship collapses, it is having a surprising impact on the ocean habitat around it. Watch. Video shows how a large section of railing is now missing from the Titanic wreck. As it sank, the Titanic split into two main sections, the bow and the stern, which came to rest nearly 2,000 feet apart. The stern section sunk directly to the bottom, while the bow sank more gradually, scattering belongings and ship parts. The bow has remained largely intact, while the stern is a twisted tangle of steel. On the seabed, the Titanic endures water pressures 390 times greater than those on the surface. The weight of the vast ship itself is now playing a part in its demise, creating twisting forces across the steel hull. Large cracks and fissures have been seen appearing in the steel plates of the hull by successive submersible missions. As the metal structures weaken through corrosion, the decks of the Titanic are collapsing. Corrosion is gradually weakening the structure of the ship as steel plates, beams, and other load-bearing elements become thinner. The Titanic is rusting, but under 2.4 miles of seawater, the processes involved are different from those on land. The wreck is covered in a biofilm, a living blanket of bacteria, marine fungi, and other microbes feeding on the wreck itself. Assorted bacteria that oxidize the iron in the ship, along with others that produce acid, are eating into the metal surfaces. Visitors to the wreck have noticed it has become covered in rusticles, icicle-like formations hanging off the structure. Among the microbes discovered was a species of bacteria entirely new to science, named RMS Titanic. Sulfur-reducing bacteria have also infiltrated areas devoid of oxygen, producing sulfuric acid that corrodes the metal. The Titanic's bow is decaying from the aft end more, where the ship broke apart, progressing forward towards the prow. The stern section appears to be melting into the seafloor, except for more intact and resilient parts like the engines and propellers. The Titanic's wreck behaves like a great iron oasis on the seafloor, providing a coveted nutrient for a vibrant deep ocean reef. Iron-related bacteria are not only eating the iron on the Titanic but are also capable of breathing it instead of oxygen. Currents on the seafloor are also playing a role in the wreck's destruction, creating disturbances that cause it to break apart. There is a chance that these currents will eventually bury the Titanic wreckage in sediment before it disintegrates completely. The ultimate fate awaiting the world's most famous shipwreck? An iron oxide smudge on the seafloor, studded with tiles, toilets, and brass fittings. The Titanic's story is a poignant reminder of human fallibility, a tragic example of hubris now quietly fading into the ocean's depths.